you're welcome to this very interesting episode of FIFA Football World Cup special. My name is Cosmos Chukwemeka, and of course, my partner is here, Deji Fasiron.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night to everyone who is out there. You're welcome to FIFA.
Wherever you're watching us from,
Yes.
those greetings are for them.
Yes, like we said in the last episode, it's a global show.
Yeah, certainly.
Yeah.
So you could be watching us from anywhere. Now, I would like to commence this show by speaking to our female folks. Now, our female folks, you know what? This is not the time that you will be fighting for the remote with your husbands, your boyfriends, or your brothers, or whoever the male folks that you're related with, because you can actually participate as well in the fantasy football for FIFA Football World Cup special. It's not just for guys.
No, it's not, and because of that, we're actually going to have a female analyst and
co-presenter right here.
Yes.
Yeah.
By next week, on the next episode, you should expect.
She's watching.
Yes, and you'll be here next week, right?
All right, last time we were on this show, we talked about the rules guiding fantasy football for the World Cup. Now, on this episode, we're going to be looking at the possible formations, and we'll also look at the mistakes to avoid, especially for new and established players. Deji, the World Cup is in 10 days.
Yes, about 10 days away.
I mean, I'm feeling it already.
It's everywhere. The atmosphere has changed.
Exactly.
We're now in the World Cup month. Like, we're actually now at the World Cup.
Can you imagine World Cup and Christmas almost at the same period?
I never actually thought about it. But it's looking good.
Yeah, it's really looking good. Before we dive into all of the formations and everything, the official World Cup Fantasy League is live on the FIFA website. And of course, you can also link up. Just click FIFA Football League in the description below. Promises to be awesome.
Yes, promises to be awesome. You can right now go and set up your own team. I know that the team lists are not yet completely out.
Yeah.
You can start to play around with your team.
And because it's just 10 days to the World Cup, it's very, very easy. Players can create their team to join the league. Transfers at the moment is unlimited, so you can do unlimited transfers before the competition starts.
Yes, so before the first kick of the ball on the 20th of November, you can actually have as many transfers as you like.
But after that kick of the ball,
yes, it becomes very valuable.
Yes, exactly, very valuable. Also, it is interesting to mention. Okay, I feel it's interesting to mention that McDonald's, it seems as if they're not going to be the title sponsor for the fantasy football for this World Cup.
But I want to believe that will not change anything. It's still going to be a very exciting fantasy football tournament.
Now, because of the unusual nature of the World Cup, you know how the World Cup is. The World Cup is usually a summer World Cup, but this time we're going to be seeing a winter World Cup, or a winter Christmas World Cup, however you can call it. Now, because of the unusual nature of the World Cup taking place in the middle of the club season, squads will now consist of 26 players as opposed to 23. In the African Cup of Nations, it was like that as well.
So the consideration for the African Nations Cup was COVID.
Yeah.
I don't think COVID is still the priority, but I think now it's looking more into the amount of games the footballers have to play in this short space of time.
So some of the teams have submitted a provisional list of 35 to 55 players in October, and they have until November 14th. It's just near. To reveal the full 26-man squad.
And already there are some interesting news. Spain, 55-man list. No David De Gea. Man U fans, how you feeling?
It wasn't a surprise to me
because
David De Gea has not been in this team for about 3 years. I mean, it wasn't even in Euros.
But speaking as an Arsenal fan and as somebody that has seen De Gea work up front and personal, I don't think there are many short stoppers of his quality.
But then he didn't play in the Euros, and in the Euros they went far.
And how far did they go?
Well, they went a bit far.
They didn't win it.
In the no, they didn't win it. But in the qualifiers, they were also there. Of course, what was that? Luis Enrique, the manager of this team, is the kind of person that would drop anybody. He didn't take any Real Madrid player to the Euros.
Yes.
And I'm not seeing so much of Real Madrid players in this 55 man list of provisional squad that he has.
I agree with you, but it's looking good. Japan has also brought out his provisional list earlier in the week.
Okay.
There's some scary news there. Tomiyasu. Yes.
I understand because of the Arsenal thing.
Yes. So, but our fingers crossed that he will make it. We got confirmation this week that Pogba wouldn't be at the World Cup.
For France.
We also got confirmation this week that sadly Timo Werner wouldn't be making it to the World Cup. If you recollect, in the last episode I mentioned that I did not feel Germany would progress in the World Cup a lot. And one of the reasons why I felt that way is, unlike years before, they don't have a recognized striker.
They don't have a recognized striker.
They don't. And Timo Werner, who I felt...
But when they won the World Cup... But when they won the World Cup in 2014, they didn't have a recognized striker.
Yes, but the team was
okay, there was a certain Mario Gomez, but...
no, he didn't play that much.
He didn't play regularly.
But the team was younger. The team was more established. They knew what they were about. This team seems to still be finding itself. And the fact that there is no proven goal scorer there, I think is not going to help them. So and now that Timo is not going to be making it, makes it even worse.
Okay, so let's come, of course, to Africa. I said I'm going to be supporting the Black Stars of Ghana.
We're going on. How can you support the people that knocked you out of the World Cup?
In any case, I'm supporting the Black Stars of Ghana because we are brothers.
We're not brothers in this one.
We eat same food.
We can't be brothers.
We are brothers.
Does your brother stop you from eating good food?
Well, but we are brothers. And since Nigeria did not qualify for the World Cup,
you will not support when there's Senegal there.
Senegal.
Yes.
Senegal is a French-speaking country. It's a francophone country.
Ghana. We're all Africans.
Do you know that before the partition of whatever thing that they did, that the European power did in the 18 whatever time? Yes. Do you know that Lagos and Accra were in the same colony?
That's their business. Cameroon are closer to me than Ghana.
So you're supporting Cameroon?
I'd rather support the Cameroonians. Despite the fact
I'm supporting my Ghanaian brothers. I'm supporting you guys, of course. And of course, Ghana have announced a 55-man provisional squad for the World Cup.
The only thing good about Ghana is that Thomas Partey is from Ghana. That's it.
Because they're national fan.
Yes,
they are the big players. Inaki Williams did not participate in the qualifiers, but because he's a big player, yes, he's there. Thomas Partey, the Ayew brothers. But then, for me, the most surprising omission is the fact that Bernard Tepeke is supposed to be in this team, was, in that game against the Super Eagles of Nigeria, was asking so many questions, and of course was one of the people that militated against Nigeria's fall. But it's not in this one.
That's what happened to us. It had nothing to do.
Okay, but then Bernard is not in this one.
You mentioned Inaki Williams. I've seen him this season. He looks like a different breed of player. Seems to have bulked up. He looks very strong. Very pacey.
And can't speak a word of English.
That doesn't matter.
Like, how would you play for Ghana? You cannot speak English.
That's your problem. You and Ghana's problem. That one no concern us.
You can't even speak Kwi. My Ghanaian brothers, I'm supporting you guys throughout. But I'm not happy that Bernard is not there. Anyway,
That's unfortunate.
Well, you talk about some players that might be missing the World Cup, and of course, Kepa Arrizabalaga, the goalkeeper. Of Chelsea is not in this one, might be missing out because of a foot injury. In fact, the manager, Graham Potter of Chelsea, said he would not play any match before the World Cup.
I think it's still touch and go for him. They're still considering him. He has been in fantastic form. Until his injury, he was benching Mendy, which was a big surprise. But let's see how that goes. I think it's a bit touch and go for him.
Okay. And of course, we've mentioned about Timo Werner and other players as well. So I think it's time for us to take a break. And when we come back, we still have a lot to talk about, especially when it comes to the mistake to avoid in this World Cup fantasy football. We'll be right back. Welcome back to this very interesting episode of Savvy Football World Cup special. My name is Cosmos, in case you're just joining us. And of course, Deji is here. Deji, we've had a lot to talk about, but then let's move on very quickly. Yes. We understand that for people who are new to this fantasy football thing, and of course, other people that have been there from time immemorial, there could be some mistakes to make, right?
Yes, they're like everything new. A lot of people might not have experienced what the World Cup fantasy experience is like.
It's different from the Premier League.
It is totally different. And one of the first mistakes that I say people make is your choice of captain. Like in the FPL, that is the English Fantasy League. At the World Cup league level, fantasy league level, the captain I would always advise should be a striker.
Okay.
That's because the points are accumulated when your striker or when your captain is the striker, and you get more points for shots taken in this tournament. You get more points for goals scored. Okay. So it's very important that I believe that the first rookie mistake that anybody can make is to pick the wrong player in the wrong position.
I like how you said it, rookie mistakes.
Rookie mistakes.
All right, let's talk about boosters very quickly. Managers using all their boosters before important games. I'm laughing at you.
This one is very tricky. I think you need to be strategic with the way you use your booster. The wild card, for example, I would advise that you utilize when you're doing the last round of the group stage, and that's because at that point teams are already secure as to where they are. A lot of teams are already secure as to where they are, so they feel a bit more relaxed, and that's where you get a lot of high-scoring games. We talked about the power captains. The power captains are a way to double, triple your points.
Exactly.
So for me, I think you should go for your strikers who are going to give you goals.
That will give you goals.
Messi, fantastic
like a Miroslav Klose back then.
Yes. So Messi, fantastic player, probably the greatest player to ever do it, no matter what anybody says about Ronaldo. I disagree with you, but
continue.
I know they're out there, they are screaming, but that's just the truth. So the point I was trying to make, despite the fact that Messi is probably the greatest player to ever do it, I'll still lean towards your Mbappe's. Those are players who are defined by goals.
That will still score goals.
Yes, Mbappe, Lewandowski. Those are players who are defined, who goals define what they are. But when we're talking power captain, when you engage the power captain element for that week, it makes the highest scoring points getter on your team.
Exactly.
Yes, it will double the points.
So if, for example, a defender is your highest goal scorer,
the highest points accumulator.
Okay, highest point accumulator.
It will double his points because you have activated the power captain for that match round.
All right, so of course you should understand that you can only use one booster per round.
Yes, so you cannot use power captain, wild card, everything at the same time.
You can't use it at the same time.
That's why I said you need to be strategic when you want to use these boosters. And
God should help you that in this World Cup, your case will just be like France in Korea, Japan 2002. Let me move on.
where everybody was out of it.
Let's talk about possible formations and team setup. Now, these are the possible formations you can have in the fantasy football. 4-4-2.
Yes.
5-3-2.
Yes.
5-4-1.
Yes.
4-3-3.
Yes.
4-5-1.
Yes.
3-4-3. 3-5-2. 5-2-3.
Cosmos, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Looking at the formations, where do you think you will get most value?
For me, I think a 4-5-1.
4-5-1.
Yeah.
No, I disagree. I disagree because you only have one striker.
I know, but then I'm allowed to have about how many strikers?
You're allowed to have 3 strikers in your squad.
So, and I can make use of them in. I can make use of them.
For me.
Okay, what do you suggest we do?
I believe the best formation will be 3-4-3.
3-4-3.
Yes. And the reason why I say that, you can have 3 strikers, and you can also sneak in some players who have that striking elements in your midfield.
That's what I'm talking about. That's why I said 4-5-1.
But you only have one striker, so you cannot give...
Okay, I only have one recognized striker.
Yes.
That's true.
So that's the reason why I feel my team is going to have... My formation is going to be 3-4-3. Yeah, so...
What about the 4-3-3? For people that are thinking about it.
I believe the most points the way this tournament is structured, unfortunately, I see you getting more points
from the strikers,
from the striking end of the game.
Okay.
So if you're even picking defenders, I think you should pick defenders who you know can score, who have a track record for scoring, because for even defenders that score, the points are even higher.
Okay.
So when you score as a defender, the points are higher. So for me, you need to factor that. Who are the guys who deliver by putting the ball in the back of the net?
With that said, we're going to take a commercial break, and when we'll come back, we'll continue with the show. All right, welcome back to FIFA Football World Cup special. Now, let's talk about this very quickly. I used to sleep in on this amazing opportunity to become a millionaire. A lot of people have slept in. Well, it is another day and another chance to win big in the Verve Good Life 3.0 promo by using your Verve card to make your transactions. You know, this promo, which has been extended, is now on till January 6th, 2023. 10 customers will win 1 million naira each from the raffle draw. Can you imagine? Deji, please help me with the shoppers as well.
Yes, and 100 shoppers will win 200,000 naira each. And 400 customers will be going home with 20,000 naira each.
Now, customers will get 10% cash back when they double their transaction weekly.
Oh, and if you don't have a Verve card, now is the best time to go into your bank and just request for a Verve card now, so that you can partake in all these goodies that were just listed.
Promo is open to First Bank, Zenith Bank, UBA, FCMB, Union Bank, Access Bank, EcoBank, and Fidelity Bank Verve card users. Of course, you know that terms and conditions will apply.
You should also know that this promo is only going on in Nigeria, so my Ghanaian brother, sorry, you miss out on this one, like you miss out on so many other things.
Don't worry, my Ghanaian brothers, my Ghanaian brothers, you still have a lot to win with Verve cards. So live the good life with Verve. And of course, before we leave, it's been a very interesting one.
Yes, looking forward to more for doing this next time.
Now, the next time we're going to be here, we're going to be talking about the actual squad, because the squads will be, the final squad list will be released, and we'll be having a whole lot of time to talk about them.
And funny thing is, next time this squad will also look better because
because we're going to be having an added squad.
Yeah, an added squad member, a lady
giving
some light.
Yeah, so that of course we encourage comments as well. So do us a favor. You should subscribe, and follow us on Twitter for more tips. Of course, the Twitter handle is there. Twitter, Instagram, everything is there as well.
I would like to say, don't just stop at subscribing. You can like to join the community. Let us have this discussion. It's going to be very exciting. Let's exchange banter, and you can also start to create your team.
Create your team.
Yes, start to share your top picks. Share those top picks with us in the comment section. So go ahead, express yourself in the community, and I'm sure you would have a swell World Cup participating with us.
And of course, do not forget to join the FIFA Football Fantasy League. Very, very important.
The link is in the description. So there are a lot of juicy gifts that we'll be sharing.
Exactly.
And at the end of each match day,
yes,
the highest points
we get something juicy.
And ultimately, the person that wins the World Cup via the league would also go home with juicy prizes.
I hope I'm the person.
That I will not be able to establish. And I don't understand why the producer keeps dodging my questions. If we're entitled to win these prizes.
I'm saying that I want to be entitled because I have a big family.
Okay.
And that is how we end today's episode of FIFA Football World Cup special. My name is Cosmos Chukwemeka.
Yes, and before I go, kindly turn on your notifications so that you can know when the next episode will be coming out. My name is Ayodeji Faseun. Peace out.
Bye-bye.